I know that there are content creators out there that already from the very beginning believed that there was something not right with Mary Ann. Before I get into the Mary Ann issue, because I have some things that I'm going to show you today on this channel. There's a brother who emailed me. He did a video that I'm sure many of you have probably had a chance to see. He sent this video to Honors as well. We're talking about Brother Ronald Armstrong. He has a YouTube channel. What I'm going to do when this video is over is I'll pin his channel to this description so that you can go over and subscribe to his channel. What he did in calling this company that Mary Ann tried to manipulate us with was all the evidence that I need to know that, yes, indeed, there was some lies, there was some deception, and there were some, I'm disappointed because you all saw me a week ago champion. I'm not afraid to say that I was champion Mary Ann, and in doing so, it was a bad decision on my part to champion her without having all the evidence. And then everybody made good points that Mary Ann really didn't show any receipts. And so the more I thought about that after all this opened up, it was true. When you really think about it, we didn't really see any hardcore receipts. When she first came on the scene with honor, and she presented the check, she wanted Honors to show the backside of the check, and she made sure he kept it on the screen nice for a nice amount of time. But then the other check in question, she did not want this front part of this check to be seen for that long. So when you go back and you look at videos, you start to see the inconsistencies and what have you. Now, I'm going to look at what people are saying in the chat room. I will put your thoughts on the board. But before I get deeper into the Mary Ann situation, I have something that I want to say. I have some apologies to give out here. First of all, I want to apologize for the videos that I put out based on what I thought Mary Ann was being honest about. I think a lot of us, well, let me say some of us, didn't think about the receipts per se because we saw her as a woman that was abused in some way psychologically, that was taken advantage of by this man right here, Umar Johnson. We believe that she was taken advantage of when she talked about the movie Awaken, and she claimed that Umar gave her 3 days of hell when they were making the movie. She talked about Umar wanted her to have a scene with him with a white woman to kind of show his ability to resist white women. She talked about the room 130. She talked about him messing around with one of the cast members and leaving her out the door. But yet he was willing to have someone stay in there overnight to do his hair. And I got to be honest, if the situation with the check doesn't look right, we really can't trust what she's saying, everything else that she says. It takes away the credibility. And so I'm going to leave that right there because I'm going to go right back into where I left off in just a moment. So the first apology is to folks that were watching the videos that I had put up, and check this out. All videos are taken down. Every video that's associated with Mary Ann in the claims that she made, from the video I did a week ago to the claims that she said about Umar with white woman, or having a desire to have a scene with white women or a white woman, from her claiming that she got $68,000 from this man, and the other claims that she made about Umar harassing her. Now, I had a chance to look at, there's something that didn't make sense to me. Bear with me, everybody. On the one hand, she tries to call Umar Johnson on Honor Channel. This is a woman that said that she was harassed by Umar. This is a woman who said she was given a settlement from Umar. Between her lawyers and his lawyers, it was a settlement. They never went to court. This is a woman that said that there's an investigation federally, and then we're finding out through Mrs. Stacks that this federal investigation was never supposed to be leaked to the public, because it does make sense that when there's a federal investigation, they want to be able to do their investigation. They don't want the perpetrator of crimes to know he's being investigated. She said there was a class action suit. She talked about how everybody was against her and didn't listen to what she had to say. What it sounds to me is like Mary Ann sounds just like Umar Johnson, playing the victim. Everything is about her being the victim, when in fact she victimized all of us with these lies when we had her back. I know I did. Now, I'm going to go back further into this because I've got to say something else. Last week, I did a video. We were talking about, once again, the mold. The video I did last week and the video about mold we did before were mainly talking about the buildings. I know that there was an EPA environmental impact report on the land. My focus was on the buildings as it relates to what's on the buildings, whether it's mold, whatever it is. At the end of the day, it was Umar Johnson holds the burden and responsibility, just like she should have told us the truth. But Umar Johnson has the burden to take, as he takes money from black people, to make sure he cleans those buildings up. So let's say that it's not mold on the buildings, but it's dirt. Shouldn't Umar Johnson had sandblast those buildings? What did I say? Sandblast them. Whatever it is, my focus at that particular time when I had the guest on was focusing on the actual buildings and whether the buildings were safe for someone to be in, not land. Because we know, and I knew already, that they wanted to make a Boys and Girls Club. They wanted to expand the Boys and Girls Club in Delaware, Wilmington, by tearing those buildings down. So to me, if they want to tear those buildings down, it's because the buildings were unfit. That was my whole focus and my whole purpose, not land. I was talking about the buildings. Already had talked about the EPA report. Honors brought it up and KKC brought it up, to his credit. Now, as I mentioned KKC, let me say this to that brother. In last week's show, something happened on the show when the guest that I had on began to say very disrespectful things to KKC. In hindsight, what I should have originally did is I should have stopped it. I should have muted his mic, moved him off of the scene, and took over the show at that point in time. Why? Because my channel is not a beef channel. My channel is not a place for people to bring their problems to this channel. What happened is that my guest a week ago had an issue that he brought to my channel because he had whatever beef, whatever issue he had with KKC. KKC was in the chat room. I'm being told KKC was saying things in the chat room like, this is not the show for me. I in my bad judgment, I took the mod off the brother. One, because I did not like the fact that he was saying whatever he was saying in the chat room that was not favorable to my channel. And this is the reason why. If you got a problem with somebody on the YouTube streets, and this is what I should have told my guests, and this is why I should have stopped it, nipped it in the bud, because KKC didn't deserve to be talked like that by a guest on my channel, no matter what the issues are that guest has with KKC. But this is another thing that has to be important for everybody to realize. If you got a beef with someone that lingers from their channel, you were on their channel, you were on their panel, wherever that beef was, you should not bring that beef to another person's channel. Meaning, I never was involved in any beef with KKC with the guest that I had on a week ago. That was not my beef or my plight. My plight was simply to focus on Umar and whether he was under federal investigation. Because once again, this woman right here has been telling us that this is happening. He's under investigation. He's under, there's a class action suit with 40 plaintiffs, so on and so forth, right? But now you can't even believe anything that she's saying when we can't even get checks and shit right. So I want to apologize again to KKC. I have no malice against you. And if KKC comes back to this channel, I will give him his mod wrench back, because I'm going to say it again. I had time to think about it. And when I thought about it in hindsight, I said, damn it, the first thing I should have done is I should have told my guests, we can't do that over here. Because my reputation on the YouTube streets is that I've never had a channel that was built on beef. I've never had a channel where I like to have drama going on in the chat room that leads to upstairs where we're at. And so my responsibility a week ago, and that video has been taken down as well. My responsibility a week ago would have been to tell my guest that you can't do that. Take that beef with that person elsewhere. And so as a result of that, I sort of indirectly got pulled into something that really had nothing to do with me, but was an issue that my guest had with KKC and whatever issue KKC had with him. To me, that is for them to deal with, however they choose to deal with it, but we should not bring it to anybody's panel. I would never go to someone else's channel, get on a panel that they invite me on, and start talking about somebody that I may not like in the chat room and cause a ruckus. Or would I go to someone's channel and there's somebody on that person's channel that I have a problem with, and the person who's the host had nothing to do with that beef, and start saying stuff that stirs up the pot. That's all I'm saying. To me, that's the proper etiquette, because I've never gone to KKC's channel and went after anybody that I might have had a problem with and start saying anything in the chat room that would make that right. And then that person triggers. But at the end of the day, my guess at the same time, I should have stopped it, nipped it in the bud, because it was on my platform and I had the power and ability to mute the whole situation. So that's why I'm saying right now, as I am a man, that I apologize to KKC. If he's listening to this, or anybody that rocks with KKC, you can go back and tell him what I said, that I sincerely apologize. Should have never allowed that to happen. Shouldn't have took his mod wrench. Should have told my guests, please don't bring the drama over here. I should have muted him, stopped the whole thing, so that we could get back on get back on topic. Now, I'm going to be honest, and I don't care how people feel about it. I had a chance to read comments. I had the chance to get the vibe of my audience. And from what I gained from my audience really, they weren't feeling the guest that I had on. People weren't feeling the guest, didn't like his style or his approach or the loudness of the vocals. And I've been on YouTube for a long time. I've taken a lot of time to build my channel, and I have to listen to my audience and listen to how my audience feels. And when my audience is not feeling the guest, doesn't feel comfortable with that guest, doesn't like what the guest is saying, or like the style, or if my audience feels like they're being talked down to or preached to, I have to recognize that and say, you know what? This may not be the best fit for my channel, because people don't like being talked down to. Because Because over here, you're preaching to the choir. Everybody over here knows about Umar Johnson, knows about the person he's been. We all want the same thing. We want to see him held accountable legally. We want to see him stop what he's doing. We want to see this scam come to an end. That's what it really should be about. It shouldn't be people's personal agendas for themselves. So to my audience, I must apologize to you because you know my reputation. I usually have a certain decorum on my channel, and I let it get out of control last week, and that damn sure ain't my style. No matter what differences people have with each other, I shouldn't allow myself to to be drawn into that shit, or should put myself in it. When the truth of the matter is, I've known KKC longer than the guest that I had on. So I should have gave him the benefit of the doubt, even if check this out, even if I don't agree with the idea of those buildings becoming a church. And the reason why I don't agree with it becoming a church, because I, in my opinion, don't feel that those buildings are fit for someone to be in, especially when the city wanted to tear those buildings down and rebuild up again and expand Boys and Girls Club, because those buildings were not, because if the buildings were fit, they would simply refurbish the buildings as they are. That's my logic thinking about it. So let me move on now to the issue of Mary Ann. Once again, my apologies to KKC for what went down a week ago. Should have never allowed that to happen and should have put a stop to it, because that's not the style of channel that I have over here. And I don't care about how anybody feels about the position that I have now taken as it related to KKC and my guest that was on last week. The brother deserved an apology from me, and I'm saying it right in the camera. I'm not gonna do this send him an email crap. I'm opening up my cameras. I'm on live, looking at the cameras as a man and saying I apologize for all the bullshit that happened last week, and I should have put a stop to it when I had time to think about it. Now, I've had time to think about Mary Ann and the bullshit that she's put out. This is the nonsense. Let me show you the video that pretty much opened my mind. And let me put this up for you right here. Honors put this on his community tab in his channel. As some of you may have seen this or may not, let me read this to you. It has been confirmed that Mary Ann Lorient lied about her $68,000 settlement. He posted this today. Remember, Honor said that he was going to wait a little while, give her a little bit more time, give her some grace, give her some time. Honors, I even talked to him this morning. He ain't giving her no damn grace because he realized that she lied to him. There will be no more grace, no more benefit of the doubt. She's a liar. I should have been more diligent, more critical, and vetted everything. I feel the same way. When I say I feel the same way, I feel like I should have vetted too. Honors feels that he should have vetted. He should have been more diligent. I feel like the information, because we all got our information from her coming on his channel and him having interviews with her. I feel like I should have been more diligent as well. Even when she gave this information, I should have been as diligent as well to look at that check and examine it and make sure that it's real, like all of us. And I know that some of you out there already knew that something was fraudulent. Put sevens in the chat room if you knew that something was already fraudulent. This is not an easy video for me to do because I believed in the sister. I feel like we as black people, we should be able to support one another and believe in one another. This is what makes it difficult, because here is a black woman that we thought was a victim. And we don't know what to think, because if she's going to lie about a check, how can we believe everything else that she's been saying? What's going on, House of X Entertainment? The beautiful Bernice. And I'm going to say again, I'm not afraid to say it. KKC was correct. He said no receipts were provided. It was just her emotions. I think some of us got caught up in her emotional plea to us. The emotions. When she says when she talks, she says she's emotional. I think we got caught up in her emotions. Tell me if I'm wrong, if I'm right. Let me continue. I let my guards down because she was a woman. I feel like same thing. I think as a man, as men, we are taught and conditioned in this society that we are supposed to be what? Protectors and providers. So I think when Honor and any of us who were believing in her, it's because as men, I'm just saying in general, we have a natural innate instinct to do what? To protect. And then a lot of times black women, and I'm not pointing any fingers, I'm just saying a lot of times we have seen videos where black women say that black men don't protect them, that black men don't have their backs. And I got to be honest, getting caught up in Mary Ann's emotions contribute to, I believe, me wanting to defend her, wanting to believe in her. Because in my mind, and I'm pretty sure in some of your mind, before you realize that she was lying to us, why would she have anything to lie about? Why was she? What's the motive to lie about a check? What would be the motive? But then again, this is a woman who also was a fan of Polite, and Polite, as you know, is in prison, and he touching underage minors. Something is clearly wrong with the black conscious community. The black conscious community ain't conscious. I wish they would even stop using that term conscious, because you're not conscious. I said it. Because if you were conscious, Umar Johnson wouldn't be able to run the muck that he's been running. And Mary Ann wouldn't sit up here and lie to black people. These black conscious communities be claiming that they ooga black, that they for black people, they for black power, they're for activism. But yet these same people who claim that they're activists and that they're black power, that they're black conscious community, they lie to black people every day. Y'all lied to us just like we can be lied to by white folks. Tell me I'm not lying. But sevens in the chat room if you agree with me. Thank you. Lady 747. No one I've seen has brought a fake check to YouTube before. Great lesson for all of us in the new age of AI. Thank you, Information Man. Thank you. Let me finish reading this. I let down my guard because she was a woman that Umar exploited. I think the same thing happened to me, because all of us see the things that Umar does, the way he talks about women, the way he's always focused on getting in their panties. I trusted her and got played, never again. And that's why he's not going to have a lot of guests on, or at all. And that's why, unless I have credible, I'm going to let everybody know this right now, unless I have credible with receipts, information, if someone comes out and says, oh, I got this information on Umar, if they don't have receipts, I mean legitimate receipts, I'm not doing no videos about it. I'm not bringing nobody on my channel. I'm not championing nobody. Nobody's getting championed unless you bring the receipts. No more just believing in people because you say, well, they black, I'm black. They're a woman, they're a guy, they got done wrong. And the person that they say that they got done wrong by is somebody that I don't like because I've seen things that they've done. So I can, and this is why we believe Mary Ann, because we know that Umar is a low down, dirty dog. Put sevens in the chat room if y'all know that Umar Johnson is a low down, dirty dog. But to be fair, as Honors always says, we can't pin this one on Umar because we got a woman in Marianne who's just lied to us. Let me show you a receipt right here. Check this out. Now, these were the checks that she presented to him, right? I enhanced these checks, but I'm going to show you the original checks that she showed, as you all have seen. But let me just bear with me. So remember, that's covered up, right? Then here's the check that has the message that it's not a real check right here. Look at this. Right? It says right now, right there, it's in small print. Well, guess what? I just enhanced it. So this right here that has names and all that covered up, I enhanced this with AI. Look at this right here. Check this out. 68,600, right? Marianne's name is right there. And then when you look up close, it says document has valid. It says right here, artificial watermark. Something strange about that, right? Now I enhanced the other part. Check this out. Look at this. Right there, I enhanced it, meaning you can see it even clearer now. Disclaimer, this is not a real check. You all have heard that. To receive your real cash offer, call 216-677-2941 today. This is a marketing advertisement, y'all. It's a marketing advertisement. Brother Armstrong has shown us because he called the company and was able to get through. Remember, Honors had this on his channel. I enhanced this too. Legacy Home Buyers, BBB profile, BBB accredited since 9/2024. Legacy Home Buyers is a real estate agency specializing in the acquisition of residence properties for cash and offering owners solutions to sales. Why the hell would she give Honors a home to buy home? Why would she give him a check like that? And then she lied and said that she didn't cash it. Then there's another video where she says she did cash it. If you just go back and look at the other videos that she's done, the lies are always in the details of what people say. But the problem is myself, people like Honors and others who did not recognize this early on is because we got too caught up in saying, let's believe a black woman. Let's believe this woman because of our desire to see Umar. I got to be honest. Because of our desire to see Umar be brought down, we were easily to be swayed and manipulated or to be fooled by this woman and her fake checks. Then remember, Honors did this. I enhanced this with AI when he put this on his channel about the business. The Legacy Home Buyers is a real estate agency in Cleveland, Ohio. Legacy Home Buyers is real estate. We know that part right there. And then Honors did this part right here about Better Business Bureau. The Better Business Bureau accredited businesses to become accredited with businesses. This is some bullshit that Marianne tried to get over on us with. And then Marianne goes on his channel and she starts getting outraged, losing her cool, screaming, yelling. And all of that was to look like a victim. Never addressed the issue of what? What did Honor say? I just want to see some receipts, some proof. And while he was asking her just to get proof, she kept screaming and yelling and being outraged and saying, come on, fam, come on, fam, come on, family. Don't family us. You were lying. That's why you were screaming, you were yelling, and you were becoming emotional because you got caught in your bullshit. And because you got caught in your bullshit, you tried to play the victim by all the screaming and the yelling and then playing the role by saying, well, you know, I'm a woman and women and men are different. We are emotional and you're logic. No, it's true. Men are logical. Women can sometimes be emotional, but in this case, bullshit. You got caught in your lie, and as a result of being caught in your lie, you became emotional, and you thought by becoming emotional that people would be on your side. You know why I know you were bullshitting around, Marianne? Because I'm a therapist. I work in mental health. I deal with people who play these character games every day in my work capacity. I can see through your bullshit a mile away. The screaming, the yelling. The behavior was just like somebody that's bipolar. Emotions going up and down. Now, when my man Armstrong, Brother Armstrong, I'm going to put his channel in the link of this, and y'all make sure y'all go over there and subscribe to his channel because he has brought us the definitive proof of what this woman's lies. And I'm about to show y'all right now. Once again, I got to say it. I'm going to keep saying it. Must apologize to KKC for what happened a week ago on my channel. Should have never allowed that to happen. You will be getting your mod wrench back if you ever come into my chat room. Because I was wrong for allowing that dialogue last week to go on when that brother began to berate you on my channel, and I'm not a beef channel. And that should have that was a disrespect to me as well when I think about it. People bringing their beefs to my channel, and I didn't like that. But I'm pissed off, y'all. I hope y'all can tell I'm pissed off. This bullshit right here, this fake ass check that she tried to fool us with, ain't nothing but a damn marketing check. I'm so pissed off, I don't know what to do. Let me read something to y'all real quick, if y'all don't mind, before I go into the video that tells it all. I looked this up about deception. Deception is the act of intentionally misleading and tricking and causing someone to believe something false, often for personal gain or to avoid consequences. That's why she was screaming, yelling, and wouldn't let Honors get a word out, and then turns around and acts like, oh, I don't know why he came at me like this. He didn't come at you any kind of way. You're mad because you said, well, he should have given me time to get my receipts. What the hell are you talking about? If you gave Honors the check in September or December, why would you not listen to my logic, everybody? Why wouldn't you still not have a copy of those receipts? Why would you need to go and get receipts to prove that you got a real check from Umar that you first said that you never cashed? Then you turn around in another video that's out there saying that you did cash it. Why would you need time to dig up the truth of the check? If you gave the check to Honors in December or September of last year, why the hell you don't have no receipts? That's basics. I hold on to my receipts from bills and things that I pay for at least a year or two before I shred it. So if you got this battle with Umar and Umar is such a menace to you, why would you not hold on to those receipts for proof if you later on have to go to court with this man at some point? You see how that doesn't make any sense? If you're with me on my logic, put sevens in the chat room. Why would Mary Ann need all this extra time to find receipts when she had the damn check and everything in hand back in September? Why? You should have those receipts. You should be able to pull that real quick. And we live in the digital age where the banks can send that shit to you digitally. Hell, you can do banking on your cell phone and pull up your records. I can pull up stuff from on my bank right now on my cell phone from shit that I did a year or two ago. It don't take that long. And the question is, why wouldn't you not keep the damn receipt? If you got a check, you should have a receipt. If you got a check from Umar, why don't you have your lawyer come on, Mary Ann? Why didn't your lawyer come on and say, yes, Mary Ann got this money and here's my receipt? Because I'm sure if you had a lawyer, your lawyer would have receipts about this situation. If it was a settlement, there should be receipts. And then why would you want to call up Umar on Honor's channel if you are saying that you don't like Umar and Umar threatened you and Umar was harassing you? Why the hell are you still calling somebody that's a harasser? And then you're gonna get an attitude because Honors didn't want you to. You're gonna tell us, well, Honors didn't let me call Umar on his channel. You know why he didn't let you? Because I looked up I talked to Honors. They got a law in Utah. The law is you can't be on a live stream and you call somebody with your phone number and then Umar doesn't know that he's on Honor's channel. Umar can turn around and file a lawsuit against him for having him on a channel through a telephone call. You can't do that. Because you can't do that. You can't call somebody on the phone that you already have allegations against. You already talking about the man got federal charges. You're all over your channel talking about he got a lawsuit against him, but yet you calling the man? And I'm going to tell you why she did that. Like I said, I work in psychology. I know deception when I see it. The reason why she did that, she knew that Honors was not going to let her make that phone call on air. So that was a ploy to make you think that she really was getting information, that she was really going to get information from Umar, that Umar was going to actually vouch. Why the hell would Umar vouch for her if he knows that she's putting suits against him? Why would Umar? And then another thing that's funny about this, we haven't heard Umar come out of make a video and say anything about, hey, I got Mary Ann trying to take a suit against me. He hasn't even said her name. But there's a law. You can't do that. There's a law in Utah where he lives at. You can't do that. It's against the law. So when the man is telling you he can't do that, how you going to go back to your channel and play play this role like, I don't know why he wouldn't let me let Umar. Why the hell you need Umar to tell us that he paid you some money when all you got to do is show us the receipts? It's called stalling techniques. You were stalling because you didn't have the receipts because it's a fake check. And then you told us the night that this whole thing went down, you said you were going to have the receipts the next day, and we got no receipts the next day. And then Honors goes on his channel and he's still trying to believe in you. I was believing in you still until I realized this was all bullshit. You set up here and you do a video and put my name about how you're so sorry about me getting caught in the crossfire. To me, you just sat up there and you wanted to play victim, throw my name in there about how you sorry about what happened. No, you should be sorry that you lied to everybody.
Information now. You are one of the content creators that have always been welcoming, always very supportive. And when I saw him flash on their signers, when people are comments are coming up, and when I read his comment, I saw what I interpreted as confusion, disappointment, and I'm truly sorry that he's a very upstanding, very guardful of what he brings to his channel, and I felt he caught fire as well.
I caught fire because of your lies. I believed in you. And peace and respect to you, brother KKC. You got your mind wrenched back. I'm sorry about everything that happened a week ago. We'll have to talk on your channel more about these things. But KK, you know that ain't normally my motive of operation. And I allowed myself to get caught up in something that wasn't necessary because it shouldn't be about us fighting each other. It should be about the fact that we want to see Umar pay the price. And once again, KKC, I understand what you're saying about the land because, yes, I said that they wanted to build on that land. I was focused on the buildings, that the buildings themselves are not necessary in the best shape, which is why, tell me if I'm wrong or right, which is why they were actually going to tear those buildings down to basically, if I'm not mistaken, expand the Boys and Girls Club down there in Delaware or Wilmington. But I believe that Umar is hurting that progress. And even if you desire for it to be a church, my brother, the buildings as they stand right now, would they really be fit? I'm not talking about the land, but with the buildings as they are right now, would they be properly fit for a church? But anyway, it's good to see you. Now, let me get back to this. That's deception. She says, how can you, something's got to be off about a person that would get on their social media, look in the camera and apologize to people, but then you did all these lies. This is what deception is. It involves words, actions, omissions that skews a reality, including lying, right? Pushing out propaganda. It ranges from interpersonal dishonesty to professional manipulation, damaging trust. That's what's happened. Trust has been damaged. Can't come back from this. Intentionally, deception is usually a deliberate choice to mislead people. Methods, it can involve falsifying, like a damn check. Presenting false information as true or concealing and withholding information. Now, let's get to my man. And this brother that I'm presenting to you, I know this brother. He's been on my channel. He's actually a filmmaker himself, and he's deeply into the Egyptianology and what have you. But let me play this. I don't care if y'all seen this. We need to keep watching it because it tells the damn story as many people. Check this out.
What they're about.
This is Angela with Legacy Home Buyers.
Yes, is this Legacy Home Buyers?
Yes, sir. How can I help you out?
Oh yeah, sure. I just want to get some information on what do you do exactly?
What do we do?
Yes.
Yeah, we purchase properties in cash to either renovate and list or keep them, as a rental portfolio. Was there anything specific you're looking to get or understand?
Yes. Someone I know received a check from you guys in the amount of $68,000, and it says on the check, I guess it says something that this is not a real check. Are you familiar with that?
Yeah, that comes from our marketing team. It's a form of advertisement that we do. So if they got that check and if they're interested in selling, we can definitely explore this conversation. But if not, they're more than welcome to throw it away.
Oh, it's not a real check then?
No.
Oh, it's just a marketing thing. Okay, I understand.
Yeah.
There's no problem with it.
Ladies and gentlemen, did you hear what the young lady just said to Brother Armstrong? Ronald Armstrong. He said the check is just a marketing tool. Did y'all hear that? Put sevens in the chat room. That's why it says disclaimer. This is not a real check. To receive your real cash offer, call 216-677-2941 today. He called the number, and that's what you're hearing. I'm going to get back to it. Now, this is another thing I want to say to everybody. And that is this. If Mary Ann tries to say that she didn't know that it was a fake check, that's some bullshit. If you did a settlement if you did a settlement with Umar that would require lawyers' involvement, why would your lawyers not recognize it as a fake check? Why would your lawyers not look at that and say, wait a minute, let's just say for argument's sake that Umar Johnson gave her purposely a fake check. Do y'all dig what I'm saying? Let's say for argument's sake, he gave her a fake check. The question is, why didn't her lawyer and herself discover and recognize this fake shit right here? Why didn't the lawyers that she had, if she claimed she had some type of arbitration with his lawyers, why would a damn lawyer, a person that goes to law school, not look at the check and say, you know what, Marianne, this is not a real check. I think Umar and his lawyers are running games on us. Why didn't that get discovered in the damn very beginning? If y'all with me on this, hit sevens if I'm making damn sense. And why would Marianne herself not recognize that the fix was in if Umar indeed gave her a fake check? Do y'all get what I'm saying? If Umar indeed gave her a fake check, why in the hell would Mary Ann not examine it and then confront Umar's lawyers through her lawyers to say, wait a minute, you're running a fraud on us. Umar's running a fraud on us. Because I guarantee you that's going to be the next thing that's going to come out. Oh, I was given a fake check by Umar. My bank is telling me that the check was fake by Umar. But you got caught saying that you didn't cash it in one video, and then later on in later videos, it comes out you say that you did cash it. So as much as Umar is a low down, dirty, you know what, we can't put this one on Umar. Okay, just like Honor say, I'm gonna be fair. We can't put this one on Umar if she gave us fraudulent information. And then we got to question everything else she's told us from there. How do you not know that the check that you gave or that you presented to Honor was a fake check? Because you thought that you could fool Honors, which is why when you presented it, you didn't want Honors to show the front of the check for that long. You just said, put it up there, just let it linger a little bit. And then he had to take it down real quick. But when it came to the back of the check, oh, you had no problem with that check, that back of that check, being out there for people to see. You know why you didn't want that front part of the check to linger or to be there for a long time? Because why? Disclaimer, this is not a real check. To receive your real cash offer, call 216-677-2941. Because you was faking the funk, Marianne, and you had Honors food because Honors admitted himself that he really didn't do a deeper examination of the check, right? She showed us this crap right here, remember? She didn't want her paid to the order. Now check this out. This is why you know she fooled us. Why wouldn't she not want us to see her name? We already know her damn name. But then when I did my AI did this. The AI shows that paid to the order of Marianne, right? But it's a fake check. And then it talked about there's something shady about the artificial watermark on the check. So this is the thing that doesn't make sense. Marianne didn't want the check to be lingered, didn't want this to be seen. You know why? Because she didn't want nobody to read that small fine print down below, way down below, right? And she covered up her name for whatever reason. I don't know why, when we already knew her name. But why is all this shit covered up, right? Why is the top of it right here covered up? Because maybe it's telling you it's a fake check. It's just a promotional check. Isn't it interesting that the parts that we can't see are the parts that might tell us the damn truth? Because if we had saw these parts that she covered up, maybe that would have told us, oh, this is a fake check. She's scamming. We would have known that this was a scam we would have known this was a scam last year, September, December, right? But she covered that up because these areas probably further prove that it was just a promotional check that she tried to pass off as real. And then you see this part right here where somebody underlined it. And then like I did some little, I enhanced it with AI and there it is. Let's get back to my man. Sorry to break in the middle of it all. Let's get back. Here we go.
Someone I know received a check from you guys in the amount of $68,000. And it says on the check, I guess it says something that this is not a real check. Are you familiar with that?
Yeah, that comes from our marketing team. It's a form of advertisement that we do. So if they got that check and if they're interested in selling, we can definitely explore this conversation. But if not, they're more than welcome to throw it away.
Oh, it's not a real check then?
No.
Oh, it's just a marketing thing. Okay.
You heard her say that it's not he asked, is it a real check? She says no. He says it's just a marketing thing. And then in the conversation, she said, yes, let's continue.
I understand. There's no problem with that. I understand you guys are marketing your services. That makes total sense. Okay, I just wanted to clear that up. You know what? So I want to thank you. And you send this check out to lots of people, right?
Correct.
Because it's a marketing thing. Okay, I got you. I totally get it and understand, and I appreciate your help. Thank you so much.
Damn,
Was there
man.
anything else that I could provide for you?
Oh, no. So, like, if we wanted to engage your services, how would we go about that?
I mean, it would start with this phone call. I'd gather your name or the homeowner's name, the address, and then grab some details in the house itself. And then towards the end of this conversation, if everybody still wanted to explore next steps, that next step would be my home buying specialist come out to the house, take a look at it, and from there, that's when we would determine our best and final offer.
Oh, that's cool. Is there? Okay, yeah, that's really cool. All right, thank you so much. I appreciate your help.
Okay, what was your name?
My name is Ron Armstrong.
Ron Armstrong, that's right.
Okay, and you were calling on behalf of somebody that received our letter?
Yeah, so it was a confusion because she received the letter and said that she deposited the check in her account and it kind of cleared. So we were like curious as to is that actually possible?
No, she wouldn't have been able to clear that check.
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
You heard it for yourself. Marianne would not be able to clear that check. So if Marianne told you that she cashed a check, that particular check that she presented to Honor, I'm going to be correct here. The check that she presented to Honor, this check right here that says disclaimer, is not a real check. If Marianne presented that check to Honor as real, and now we're finding out because my man Ron Armstrong called the actual company, he's talking to a rep, and they say it's a promotional. You can't cash the check. And if you were to take that to a bank, no damn bank would cash it. Matter of fact, when I had a chance to correspond with Honor today, he said he had somebody that he knew take a picture of the checks, take it to their own bank, and the bank told them it ain't real checks. It ain't a real check. So, as much as I hate to say this, and I don't like to, I like to support black people and black women that have been mistreated by individuals like a Umar Johnson. In this case, this fish is not going to cook. We're not going to put any hot sauce on this catfish. This is not working. It ain't making no sense. Marianne, you didn't have to do this. I don't know what the motive of you doing it. Now, there's some people that believe that maybe Marianne is a plant from Umar. Maybe she's working with Umar and that the whole thing was to make us all look like fools. And that could be the reason why you haven't seen Umar come out and do any videos where he has called her out. We know that Umar has made a video or two or more where he's been talking about Miss Stacks in a very nasty way, but he has not made any video, which I find very unusual because Umar loves being on social media and he can't stop talking about people that he feel have wronged him. But he has not called her out. All we know is that she said that Umar can't talk to her, that they got this settlement, but we don't even have receipts that there was a real settlement because the check puts it all in question that can lead people to think these conspiracy type theories.
That she deposited the check in her account and it kind of cleared. So we were like curious as to is that actually possible?
No, she wouldn't have been able to clear that check.
Oh, okay. That's what we thought. We just wanted to make sure. All right. Well, thank you again for your help.
You're welcome. You have a great one.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Wow. Wow. Brother Ron Armstrong sent that video to me personally this morning because I know the brother. He sent it to Honor. Honor sent me an email, and Honor explained to me that he had someone take a copy of that check, go to their bank. They couldn't cash it. He said he's even going to try to do it with his own banking to further. But he told me very clearly that Marianne is a liar. As I said in the beginning of the show, this was in his post. It has been confirmed. Ann Lorient is a liar. Lorient is lied about the $68,000 settlement check. There will be no more grace, no more benefit of the doubt. She is a liar, according to Honor. And now, according to me and everybody else has picked up on the bullshit. I must shout out everybody in the chat room that already knew from the very get-go probably when people weren't listening to you, that there was something suspicious about Mary Ann. For those of you out there who knew this, I give you a clap. Thank you for the super chat, lady 747. We just escaped the coat. Right, it's a coated personality. Everybody in the chat room, I thank you for coming over here. But I've got more. Don't go any way, because let me show you. So this is what I mean when you look at it from a psychological level. What do people do when they're caught in a lie? They begin to panic. She said to Honors, well, I panicked because she panicked because he caught her off guard. She panicked because she wasn't expecting him to ask for those receipts a little bit more deeper. She panicked because she wasn't prepared because she panicked because the check was fake and she never thought that this was ever going to come out the way it did. So what you do normally as humans is that when we're not willing to tell the truth, we'll resort to emotional behavior, raising our voice, talking loud, causing doubt of the truth, trying to make a lie the truth and the truth a lie. Being accusative, where you say, oh, they're out to get me. And then you notice when she was talking to Honors, she kept talking about Umar. Umar didn't have nothing to do with this. If Umar gave you a fake check, you could have easily went to your lawyers and you could have held him accountable. And you notice Mary Ann never showed us any receipts of the agreement she said that was made with the lawyers and his lawyers. She never came out with any legal paperwork to prove that he gave her a settlement. She did say that Umar was going after her for $500,000 because he wanted to take the movie from her. Honor says some of that stuff was true because he saw the receipts. But at this point, for me personally, if you're lying about something as simple as a damn check, you'll lie about anything else. Let's go back into a reminder of what happened that night, because I thought she was very disrespectful. Honors didn't raise his voice. He didn't scream and yell at her. He simply said, we can straighten this up very simply if you just simply show me some extra receipts and we can clean this whole thing up. Why would you not have receipts when you were in a serious situation with Umar? So you claim. Remember this?
Like the way Umar did it like that. I gave you the letters from the attorney. Legal, a valid legal firm. You know how he came at me? Okay, what can you give out of the 500? What can you give out of the 500? And then
I want y'all to listen to this. Mary Ann told Honor that she gave him legal paperwork. I just said a few minutes ago, why didn't she show us legal paperwork that it was a true settlement, right? She just said to Honors that I showed you, and you're going to see Honors say, no, you didn't show me any of those type of paperwork. Watch. Let me bring it right back. Listen.
Like the way Umar did it like that. I gave you the letters from the attorney. Legal, a valid legal firm. You know how he came at me? Okay, what can you give out of the 500? What can you give out of the 500? And then if we don't like the number, Umar's going to give you a number, then we're not discussing.
Thank you for the super chat, Mike Check Global. Thank you very much. Thank you. All right. Remember, she said to Honor that I showed you the legal paperwork from my lawyers. Watch what his response will be if she ever allows him to talk. All that screaming and yelling and turning around and saying, well, I'm a woman. That's all bullshit. That's something that people do when they're caught in their mess. And so she got loud and she got emotional, hoping that would appeal to our emotions and it would make us feel guilty about questioning her in that check. That was a guilt trip that she engaged in, as far as I'm concerned.
We're taking you to court. I remember that. Down. This is the language they use with me. I remember. And y'all want to know why I'm so angry? No, I have integrity. I'm a woman of faith. I have integrity. I ain't got
Yeah,
no
the
reason to lie. I ain't got to prove nothing to nobody on YouTube, but I will
Okay.
prove it.
The issue though is the check.
I told
Can
you
you?
about the check. I told you about the check. I sent that check to you. If I had something to hide, would I have given you that check? He went
Well,
through a long shot with that man in Columbus, that law firm. That check was
okay.
deposited in Chase Manhattan, and then that money was withdrawn and then deposited to Huntington Bank. I don't
So
have to lie, Mr. Honor. I don't have
so
to lie. Why would
okay.
I
So
lie? Where's Umar now? Call Umar right now.
This ain't about Umar, and nobody needs to call Umar. And Honors has already said 1,000 times that he would not call Umar. He would not do something like that. This ain't about Umar. See, all that screaming and yelling is unnecessary because all you had to do, Marianne, was do what you said you was going to do, which was to show him the receipts the next day, which you did not do. That's all you had to do, is show him the proof that the check was legitimate. And don't tell me it takes forever to do that, because we are in the digital age today. You can digitally get proof of these things very quickly. And then the question I'm going to say again is, why wouldn't she have not saved these type of documents when she was claiming that her and Umar was in serious arbitration or serious negotiation over what he had owed her for her time and her money that she put into making that movie, when he made her time as a movie director and producer a hell, as she told us. This is my question. If Marianne had showed Honors these legal paperwork as she's claiming, why haven't we not seen it? Why wouldn't we have not seen these paperworks? I'm sure Honors would have presented it to us. Doesn't make sense. Well, or why has she not even presented to us on her channel? Put sevens if y'all feeling what I'm saying.
Now, you call him right now. I'll talk to the bitch. Call him now. Call him now. You got his number.
Are you saying that the check that you showed me that cleared?
They gave me something, and then I told you, I said, listen, I do not trust this man. We went to Huntington. I go to a video. I said, family, this check that they gave us, we are in questioning of the check. Before I got the money, I had to sign paperwork. He went to a long shark. These people are long sharks.
Let me just debunk something about long sharks. This old school term that she's using. Let's debunk something. As far as I know, loan sharks don't deal in cash. They don't deal in checks. They they loan you cash money so that it's easier for it not to be traced back to them. Loan sharks deal in cash. They don't deal in checks, and they damn sure don't deal in. If this was a loan shark check, then why in the hell does this check? Why is this check? Why is it associated with the Legacy Home Buyers Better Business Bureau? This is looking into this business. Some people think it's fraudulent. Some people say, hey, they don't know. But why wouldn't her own lawyers look into the legitimacy of the checks? Why, as I said before, why hasn't she presented her lawyer or lawyers to be able to prove that this is true? Wouldn't the lawyers have a record? Excuse me, everybody. Wouldn't the lawyers have a record of this transaction? Wouldn't the lawyers have a record of this transaction? Y'all let me know in the chat room. Yes, no, sevens, whatever y'all want.
Long sharks. I don't know. You're talking about real estate. I don't know about real estate. They're long sharks. You get money. Let me break it down, because someone probably, what the hell is she talking about? You get money from them, and there's a high interest rate. That was Umar them doing. I don't care where the money came from. All I care is I got paid.
Okay, so if you got paid, that means you cashed a check. The woman on the line with Mr. Ron Armstrong just said, everybody, it's a fake check. You can't cash it. You presented this check to Honors. This is the original check that she presented to Honor. And it says down there, disclaimer, it's not a real check. How are you now? You telling us that loan sharks were involved? We know loan sharks deal in cash. They don't deal in checks. They don't want nothing being able to be traced back to them, especially if what they're doing is illegal. Does that make sense, everybody? What is she talking about? And then you know how she further reflects from the issue at hand? She starts screaming and yelling and telling Honors, call Umar right now. I know you got his number. Why the hell would he need to call Umar? Why can't you just show us the receipts? Because she can't. She don't really have the real receipts. So she's going to tell Honors to call Umar when she already knows that Honors is not going to call Umar. So she knew by saying that he would reject that. And she wanted to make it look like, hey, let's call Umar. See, he didn't even want to call Umar. So that why the hell would Umar confirm something that he hasn't even confirmed on video? Or has he said anything about you, Marianne? We haven't seen him do a video talking about you, but we hear him talking about everybody else. Honors told you that Umar did some things, and along with his supporters, that affected his family. So why would Honor want to call this man? That puts him in legal jeopardy.
Got paid.
Okay.
And once he paid me, I start moving. I was playing chess with him. I'm like, all right. Now,
what does that got to do with it?
I've
What
been
does that got to do with anything?
moving with Umar.
All right. So you're saying
Hold
that
on.
the check.
Sharon, call Becky downstairs and tell her to start the med pass. Thank you, honey. Yeah.
So you're saying that the check that you showed at the bottom, it says disclaimer, this is not a real check to receive your real
Mr.
cash
Honor,
off.
I don't have
let me
the
finish.
physical check.
Let him
I will go to
finish.
the bank. I will pull receipt for you.
So
Let him finish.
I will pull.
You see, this is what people do when they're trying to run away from the truth, y'all. In my work capacity, I deal with people who are liars. I mean, compulsive liars every day. He kept asking her the simple question, or attempting to ask the simple question: did you cash the check? Did you get, Honors is asking very logical things. And all she keeps doing is flooding him with this stuff about call Umar and talking about how Umar's done her wrong. This ain't about Umar doing you wrong. We know that what Umar did to you because you've already told us how he did you wrong. Now we're talking about, do you have the receipts for the check, Marianne? All that other stuff that you were saying was unnecessary, but you did it because you were flooding the zone to distract Honors from continuing to bring focus back to the most important question, which is, do you have further receipts and proof? You sat up here and said you got to run to the bank. Why can't you go to your lawyers? Why wouldn't your lawyers not have a record of this? Everybody, do you hear what I'm saying? Put sevens in the chat room if you agree with me. Why wouldn't her lawyers not have a record of the transaction? And any lawyer worth their salt and gold would not sit up here and not look at those checks and make sure those checks are legitimate. Come on. And Keeper, thank you for coming over and giving me a super chat. I appreciate that. Seems to me she thinks our brains function like Umar's donors. Hit the PayPal. I hear you. Thank you, Keeper 116 for the $5 super chat. You said she may need to pay me for therapy. Shit, this whole situation is crazy mentally. Let's continue.
A receipt for you, and I will send you the receipt, and you will show to your viewer. Okay?
So
some of them thinking, oh, I'm coming for fame. Ain't nobody coming for fame.
No, this ain't about fame. This is all reflection again. This ain't about no damn fame. This ain't about none of that. That's all deflection. That's all distraction. It's about the fact that all we need you to do is show further receipts to prove that the checks were real and that you either cashed these checks or you didn't. But you're caught in a lie because you did say something about not cashing them. But then there's another video out there where you made an inference about getting paid. You just told Honors on here, Put sevens if y'all heard this. She just told Honors on there she didn't care because she didn't care where the money came from because she got paid. If you didn't care where the money came from, then why are you going on in a diatribe about some damn loan sharks? Why would loan sharks even matter if you just said out your own mouth you didn't care where the money came from? If you cash that money in the bank, your bank should be able to provide you receipts very quickly. You should be able to go on your own cell phone through your mobile banking, and you should be able to stroll through your mobile banking on your phone and find the record that you cashed a check. And then this is another thing that don't make sense, everybody. Bear with me. If she got the check back in what, December or September? Why would she had not cashed the check by now? Who holds on to a $68,000 800 check and hold on to it without cashing it for several months and never cash it? You either, the truth is in, there's a lot, the lie is somewhere there and the truth is somewhere there. The truth is somewhere there and the lie is somewhere there. Why would you hold on to a check, a settlement check that you said you went through all kind of drama to get that money? Why would you hold on to that money and never cash the check? You either cashed that damn check or you didn't cash the check. Which is it, everybody in the chat room? Something about this don't make any sense. And if she did cash the check, there should be a record of it that she cashed it. If she didn't cash the check, there should still be a record that can prove that it's a check that's issued. It's a standard check. That's a real check, not a promotional check that was sent to her by some damn homeowners, some home owning organization that buys homes, some fraudulent organization. Who knows? Why would Umar be giving you a check through some other entity that gives him a check that says it's not real, and then you don't read it, or your lawyers? Makes no sense.
Ain't nobody coming for fame.
I'm not
I saw
concerned
the
about that.
interview with Lene with you. I left the message. I didn't read from the day that I got on YouTube. I haven't reached anybody to come on their channel. Every time, if you guys see me on,
see all of this talk right here it's all distraction, reflection from reality. All of that talk that she's saying to Honor right now is irrelevant because he simply told her several times, hey, we can straighten this out. He was very calm about that, very patient, gave her grace. He simply said, all you got to do is show some extra receipts because there's some things that are a little unusual about the check that you presented to us that we're now discovering. And all she had to do very calm is see if she had the receipts, she had the proof, she would have been like, oh, okay, no problem. No problem. I'll show it to you. She would have had no problem with showing it to us. And the fact that she didn't show it the next day when she was doing all that screaming and yelling and all that emotional tirade that she was going through, in which she could have easily presented this information the next day like she said she was. Why didn't she just tell Honors that night, hey, give me some more time because I got to do this? We didn't get that detail until after the day that she was supposed to present. She gets on there and says, and then she puts out a bogus video acting like she's in some office where she got the cameras down talking about, we got to find this 45,000. My question again, why the hell would you make a video and don't even show your face or the damn full office that you're in? What are you hiding?
in the 3 channels. Every time you see me on the channel, I was invited. I have not reached it. And then, Mashana, I share privately on channels, high-end channels, who've been trying to bring me.
What does this got to do about receipts? Now she's talking about she don't ask to go on people's channels. They invite her. Then she's talking about high-end channels on YouTube. What does anything have to do that she's saying about those damn receipts? This ain't about no damn body's YouTube channel. This ain't about any of this other stuff that she's talking about. It's just a bunch of emotional fluff to cloud everyone's judgment about her to get us ingratiated into her emotionally. She thought by becoming emotional that it would cause us to become emotional about her emotions and make us feel kind of, to soften us up, to say, you know what? Why should we question her? She's crying. She's upset. Come on. She's a black woman. She's been through a lot of shit with Umar. That's why she kept talking about Umar, to remind us that Umar has done her wrong, because she figures that everybody in the chat room doesn't like Umar. So she was playing on the fact that we don't trust Umar, or do we like Umar, that we would have sympathy for the lie that she was throwing down. Tell me if I'm not telling the damn truth. I could break this. I can analyze this every day to Sunday. Break this down psychologically. The behavior is the behavior just like you have with people who are bipolar. Their emotions are up, emotions are down. When you question them, they become very emotional, and then they turn around and play the victim and then try to blame you as if you victimized them, when all Honors did was ask very simple questions. Let's go back.
I said, you know what? I'm not going to get a big head trying to run on no high-end channel. I want to, did I not share with you?
But that's not what this is. It don't matter whether you went to a high-end channel or not. What that got to do with anything? Where's the extra receipts?
That's true.
I said, I'm not going to get a big head, run on big channel. I want to make sure this investigation, I know these people have enough narrative. They're going after Umar. Listen, Umar Johnson can't say Ann Lorient name. He cannot.
So because she's telling us that Umar can't say her name, that's supposed to be proof enough that the checks are real. That's where she loses me. That's where she loses all credibility. This ain't about Umar not being able to say your name. It's about you showing proof that Umar just definitely gave you checks, right? That he definitely gave you a legitimate check, not this fake check that you tried to knock off as real. This ain't about, we already know, as you told us, that Umar was bad to you. He was nasty to you. We know Umar's nasty. We know he's not an upstanding man, but this ain't about Umar right now. It's about the lies that you told, that people that we took as truth, and we put on, we created videos. We did streams, and we put videos where we were backing you, Marianne, where we were standing up for you, Marianne, where we believed in you, Marianne. And that's why when you said in your video that you were taken back because I said that I was confused and disappointed. That's the reason why, because I'm confused as to why you would do this. I'm confused why you would put out a fake check and pass it off as real. And Honors is right. We got to stop bringing people on our channels if we haven't validated them as legitimate, or at least said, wait a minute, let's do some investigation on this person. Let's investigate. If they start telling us things about Umar or somebody and they don't bring no real legitimate receipts, not no marketing checks, then we have to say, nah, I can't bring you on my channel. Nah, I'm not gonna rock with this person. I'm not gonna go to bat for them. I'm not gonna put my neck out there. That's why I took down all videos that were associated with things that she said that I did videos on that you can't even trust if those things were true. Keisha, thank you. Her story is as clear as mud. Thank you, Keisha, for the super chat. Thank you. I appreciate the super chat. Let me show y'all something else before we end up. Let me turn this on before we.
Thank you for the super chat.
Before we end the stream. This is crazy, y'all. Let's play a little bit more.
Come on video numerous. I said, family, he can't say my name. He can't say my name.
Yeah. So
is there really a lawsuit? Well, I gave you guys the
stop it. Let Honors talk now, please.
Give him a call. And
No, he ain't calling, Marianne. You keep using this reflection. Give Umar a call. You already know that Honors can't call him, and Honors is not going to call him. But you just said it for the effect of it. To make us think, oh, she's telling the truth because she's willing to say, hey, I called Umar. Oh, but he didn't let me play Umar talking to me because he muted me. you said that on your channel is another way to get us on your side, another way of playing the victim, another way of trying to manipulate us psychologically, because you know that a lot of us don't care for Umar. By playing the role that, hey, I had a conversation with Umar, but he didn't let me play it. Even after he told you when you was on his show why he couldn't let you do that on his show and let the audio come through, which is why he muted. But you go back to your channel and act like you don't know why he did it, or that you don't understand when it comes to cybersecurity. You can't do that. You can be sued. If Umar was to know that he was on Honor's channel, a man that he sees as his enemy, then he could take legal action, because there's laws about this in the state of Utah where he's at.
For my daughter, they'll probably give me a fine. I don't know if that's allowed, but I just gave it to you. Patrick Bishop, Cleveland headquarters. So all of your YouTube channels, especially the one that's trying to tear me down, go call. Go call.
No. We don't need to call. How about you bring them on your show? How about you bring these people to vouch for you, Marianne? Why would we need to call something if you already got the information in the receipts?
Tell the truth.
There's the challenge. I am vexed tonight, and I am hurt. And Mr. Honor, you know what? I would have never done anything to make you look bad. I would have never.
But you did make Honors look bad, because you gave him a fake check. This is not a real check. To receive your real cash offer, call this number. Disclaimer. You did. You keep saying you would never, but you did. You got on your channel and said you didn't never want to hurt my reputation, but you did impact me with people. And I have, far as I know, I have a pretty damn decent reputation on YouTube where I don't bring bullshit. But this teaches me a lesson too, that when it comes to this Umar Johnson stuff, you can't believe everything that people say when they start talking about Umar, who claim they had a relationship with Umar, until they bring you the legitimate receipts.
Do me better than that. I'm really hurt tonight.
Yeah,
I'm really hurt too that you misled us.
That you actually sent, that you showed when I interviewed you, you didn't actually cash that check. There's a different check. Is that what you're saying?
No. They gave us a check. I sent a picture of the check to you immediately.
Okay, check this out, everybody. Here is the check that she sent to him. This is the check that I enhanced with AI, but here is the original check that she sent to him right here. Remember? That was the check that, for whatever reason, she marked off all this other stuff. And there go that disclaimer down below. That's what she sent to him. And she has no answer for it now, right? Here is it. There it is right there. That's that disclaimer down there at the bottom. And I've enhanced that disclaimer on that check with AI, and bam. Let's get back to what she's saying. See, shit don't add up right. Okay, we wasn't born yesterday, Marianne. We wasn't born last night. We got sense over here.
And then for me to cash from the long shark, from those people who are...
She still didn't answer his question. If you really think about it, check this out.
To make you look better. I would have never. I thought you knew me better than that. I'm really hurt tonight.
Yeah, and I understand that. I just want to be clear that so the check that you actually sent, that you showed when I interviewed you, you didn't actually cash that check. There's a different check. Is that what you're saying?
No. They gave us a check. I sent a picture of the check to you immediately.
Boom. He asked her, was there a different check? She said, no, they sent me a check and I sent the picture to you. Right? These pictures right here. As I said before, the other picture right here who has the disclaimer at the bottom. So why would she not look at that disclaimer and say, hey, this ain't a real check? Umar is trying to get over on me. Why would she send it to Honors and make him think that it was real? Because she was lying. That's why when Honors showed the check, she did not want him letting the front of the check be seen that long on camera. Remember, she said, just let it linger a little bit. But then the back of the check, I'm repeating this, what I said earlier in this broadcast, the back of the check, she had no problem with letting him hold that up for a long time. But the front of that check, she didn't like that. You know why? Because she knew it had that bullshit on there right there. She was banking on us all being stupid. She was banking that because she felt she had this relationship with Honors, that he helped put her on, helped build her YouTube channel. She was hoping that because of that relationship she had built with Honors, that he would never question the check. He would never even look at it more deeply than what he should have, and all of us. Because why? Because she's a woman. As men, we believe we're supposed to protect. She was emotional about her story. She pulled at our heartstrings. And she figured she could get over with that fake check because she figured, well, Honors trusts me, so I can show him anything and he'll believe it. And I think in some ways, that's exactly what probably happened. It was the idea of feeling trust, feeling that the woman is being honest, because every time she talks about Umar when she was on his channel, she always became emotional. So her emotionals played on our heartstrings. Let me know if y'all feel what I'm saying is true. Put sevens in the chat room. Let's hit it again.
Immediately. And then for me to cash from the long shark from those people.
So she never really answered that question. She claimed that, well, she did. She said, I'll send you the checks, but the checks were fake. Now she's going back to the long shark conversation. And long sharks, like I said before, they normally deal in cash money. Why would they want to give you a check and have something traced back to them if what they're doing is not up and up? That is underground shit.
For a long shark, for me to cash, I had to sign the disclosure. The disclosure is for me not to show the behind the scenes. That's what he paid me for. And they throw a little bullshit extra.
But okay, the behind the scenes about how Umar was behaving on the movie set, that has still nothing. Tell me if I'm wrong or right, everybody. What's going on? Another CG, everybody that's in the house. My man Yalpo, everybody that's here, I appreciate you. What happened on the scene of the movie have to do with just showing us the receipts? You claim that that's how you got your settlement because he cost you money and time and emotional stress. And you said, Marianne, you said you had to go to a therapist. Remember, she said that everybody put sevens in the chat room. She said she had to go to a therapist. So the question is, if he put you through all those emotional things that you said, Marianne, then why would you be giving Honors a fake marketing check? And if you were given a real check, why is it that you couldn't go to your lawyers right now and have them pull their records of this transaction from the settlement? Because certainly the settlement would be written in stone. And if Honors did get that paperwork from the lawyers that showed that it was written in stone, Honors wouldn't have any reason to question you now, because he would know that, oh, I saw some other documents to prove that she still is right. Even though it's still fugazi for you to give us a damn check that's a marketing check that says, disclaimer, this check is not real. Call this number. It's like an infomercial gone bad.
Sure, in there. They try to pay me for therapy. Listen. You think Umar don't look at your channel? Kiss my ass, Umar Johnson. Kiss my ass. You think you don't look at your...
This is all unnecessary. This ain't about, you can say kiss, you could tell Umar to kiss your butt every day to Sunday. Right now, you see, she's not staying focused on the things that Honors was asking her, because she's using emotional manipulation.
Channel? Are you kidding me right now?
Yeah,
are you kidding me right now?
Yeah, are you familiar with...
Okay.
See, he can't even talk.
I gave you a fake check. Let's see Umar come and get me.
He can't even talk.
Check. Let's see about that.
Yeah, are you familiar?
Going down, family.
Okay, let me just ask before we get off. Are you familiar with legacy home buyers?
I don't know what that is. What are you talking about? I don't know what is that.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, so on the check, there's...
How would she not know what that is when that was on the damn check? Why didn't she do the research? Why didn't her lawyer do the research?
The phone number, and I called that
I gave you the check. I don't know. I didn't have anything to hide. I'm the one who gave it to you. I'm the one who gave it to you.
Yeah,
they're long shark. They're long shark.
Yeah, okay, so if I can finish though.
So is she saying that Legacy Home Buyers is a loan shark organization? Is that what she's saying, folks?
There's a phone number on the check. I called the phone number, and when I called the phone number, the person who answered, they answered with, this is Legacy Home Buyers. It's real estate. Are you familiar with any of that?
I don't deal with no legacy. I'm a homeowner. I've been in my home 27 years. My studio. I own my studio.
That I understand. You guys are marketing your services. That makes total sense. Okay, I just wanted to clear that up. You know what? So I want to thank you. And you send this check out to lots of people, right?
Correct.
Because it's a marketing thing. Okay, I got you. I totally get it and understand, and I appreciate your help. Thank you so much.
10 years, long before I crossed paths with Umar Johnson. I don't know nothing about no legacy. My studio is paid for, family. There's no mortgage on my studio. You understand? The Umar's a snake. And you know what? I don't know who's behind this. I don't know who started this evil, or I don't know if it's somebody who thinks they're high, they read something, they ran with it. Masani, I'm a woman of integrity. I would not come on here and lie. Y'all think I would come out with room 130 and it would be a lie? Umar wouldn't raise all hell?
I don't give a damn at this point about Umar Johnson's sexuality, everybody. Who cares? If Umar Johnson likes to be with men, that's his damn business. That has nothing to do with the fact that she presented several months back last year, honors a check that turned out to be fake. It said very clearly, disclaimer, it's not a real check. And when you call the number, it's the home buyer's legacy. She's claiming she don't know nothing about it, talking about her property's paid for. But why would you give him something without verifying that it's real, that it's legitimate? And if it's money that he's giving, this is the thing that's crazy about it too. If it's money that Umar had to give her, why wouldn't she not verify that the check was real when she just sat up there and told Honors that Umar is slick, that he's a monster, that he might be up to something or put somebody up to something? Why would she not have checked that check to make sure it was legitimate when she was dealing with a slick individual that she said is slick and he's a monster? Huh? Y'all tell me in the chat room, huh? Am I on to something? It's sevens if you're on to something.
Tell the truth.
Marianne, you disappoint me.
Information man. You are one of the content
You disappointed me.
that
You disappoint me.
have always been
You disappoint me.
The YouTuber brought something to his attention and he's like, oh, I'm coming to show you guys this and that. And I think Michelle will probably panic because he probably feel, wow, I brought her on the scene, which he did. I made that publicly, y'all. That's how you guys all know me, introduced me. And then a channel who's as small as mine was gonna blow him up with this check situation. And then I just thought that he would have reached out to me.
Okay, so Honor said that he did reach out to her, but she was at work. Her point is that he normally contacts her at a certain time of the evening because her work schedule is opposite. Honors came on his channel the other day and said, yes, that if he could do it over again, he would have given her more time to get back to him. But when she did come on the channel, see, that's trying to make yourself out to be a victim by saying, well, he didn't give me enough time. You said out your own mouth that you were going to come back the next day and present the evidence, and you didn't. Then Honors came on his channel the other day and said that he would give you more grace. More time. You didn't present anything to us to prove otherwise, Marianne. You still haven't explained why you would accept a check from Umar and his lawyers that turned out to be a marketing check that you presented. And this is the thing that's crazy too. I don't want to hear this bullshit that, oh, well, I didn't show you the real check. Why would you not show the real check? See, because if she tries to play the role that she didn't want to show the real check, because no, that's BS. If you got a check from Umar, it's a settlement, it's a payout, you show the evidence. You don't bullshit around like this. You see, all you have to do is say to everybody, I'm going to show y'all the evidence. I'm going to talk to my lawyers. I'm going to do everything I can. And then when you show it, and then we would all be proven wrong. But the fact that you got a person who has nothing to hide, who does have the receipts, when they are confronted about receipts, they don't panic, they don't scream, they don't get all outraged. And they don't need to lean on this whole stereotypical thing about, well, I'm just a woman, I'm emotional. Why would you need to be emotional if you've got the receipts to prove that the checks were real, if you got some kind of way to prove that you cashed that check? See, on that video, she's talking about $4,500. I don't want to hear about $4,500. I want to know about the $68,000 that you got, because that's what you presented to us. You didn't say anything about $45,000. We're talking about the $68,000 check that you sent to Honor that turned out to be a fake check. On that video, she said something about $4,500 or whatever it is. No, let's stay on topic. You got to address the $68,800 or $68,600. Let me say that. Whatever the hell it is. You got to be able to address that, because you said out of your own mouth on Honor's channel that you presented him with the check that they gave you. Why didn't your lawyers do the due diligence to make sure these checks were legitimate? That's some BS.
Discussed it with me and allowed me to prepare, give him what he needed, and when he made the presentation to the family, he would have had my receipt. So that's my stand on it, and I stand firmly on the stand, and when I reach out to him, I rewatched the video twice. Yes, my voice is elevated. I'm an emotional individual, but I didn't say anything disrespectful.
Yeah, you did. You did. You were disrespectful. Every time Honor wanted to make a statement, and he was very calm and he was very deliberate and asking you, so that you cash the check? The check's real? Is there any kind of way you can give us further evidence that the checks are legitimate? That you're not cashing? Every time Honor said it's just as simple as doing that, because he says he has a reputation. He has a channel that he has built up, and he has to protect his integrity. And every time Honors wanted to talk, you kept talking over him. And every time you kept talking over him, Honors had to cut you off and say, can I please finish? Can I please finish?
Tell the truth.
Can I please continue? Every time he was trying to make a point, you kept cutting in, talking loud, over talking him. And Honors had to say, tell me if I'm lying, everybody in the chat room. Put sevens if I'm telling the truth in the chat room. Every time Honors was trying to make a damn point, he had to say to Marianne, would you let me finish? Would you let me make this point? As she was screaming and raising her voice and getting way off topic. There were times when she was talking about Umar when it didn't have shit to do with Umar other than just her showing the receipts. Like I said before, we already know what type of low down, dirty dog Umar is. We know that Umar is probably capable of doing some shady stuff. So you ain't have to scream and yell about how ratchet Umar is when we already know these things. That was just a deflection and redirecting what Honor was trying to get from her, which was
tell the truth.
Thank you for the super chat.
Which was telling the truth.
Tell the truth.
Which we didn't get very much of that. I hate that I had to make this type of video where I had to come at a black woman like this. It's not my style, but this black woman lied to us. This black woman disrespected Honor on his platform. This black woman still has not shown us receipts. This black woman still has not explained why she presented Honor in September or December a fake check that we're now realizing was fake. Why is that? Why was it necessary to do that? Let me look at some of your comments. I'm pissed off. William Martin says she can call it racism. Natural Beauty says in her post today, she said it will take 5 business days to get proof. Oh. Why would it take 5 business days to prove a check that you either cashed or you received? That doesn't make sense. And I'm going to say again, tell me if I'm wrong or right in the chat room by responding to this. Why can't she go to her? Why would her lawyers not have a record of the transaction? Why can't her lawyers, why would the lawyers, her lawyers that she claimed she had, why would they not have records of the transaction? Can anybody answer that? Umar got to be mad that she blew her cover. Wow. I can pull up my bank in a second. Right. Check this out, everybody. Today on both my app, my bank app, and physically on my PC, my bank that I bank at, they upgraded. You know what they did? They upgraded the app. They upgraded the entering the my account on the computer. So today I had to go in there, create a new password, the whole cyber type thing, security type thing, right? And then once I got into the system, I can go on my PC and look at all my transactions from last month, probably even from last year. Digital. And I'm going to say this again. If you receive a check for $68,000, 600, whatever it was, who in the hell receives that kind of money and doesn't cash it? Because if she cashed the money, she should have a record, a receipt. When you go in the bank and you cash a check, they give you a receipt of your transaction. Am I wrong or right? What's going on, Congo? What's going on, Congo? 130. She also, let me see, my dreads says she also not a registered nurse aide. She is not eligible to work as one. It's expired since 2011. Well, I didn't know about that. And we got to have receipts. This whole situation now is going to make me receipt hungry. Anything anybody says, we need to see receipts.
Tell the truth.
Receipts. I'm talking about receipts. What's going on, Republican Ron? That could have been easily blurred out with a free foam app too, right? Now, is that Ron? Is that Bee Stinger? Is that the real Bee Stinger, or is that somebody that's using his picture? Because I know who you are. If that's Bee Stinger from New York, right? You came out and expressed the situation with Bombada and all that situation. Are you the real Ron B? Are you the real Bee Stinger, brother? Let's see. How you doing, sister? Good to have you over here. We got Living on the Wing Johnson. She says she's a director but can't understand direction and shows records of or receipts. Wow. Let me go in here. We got B High says she's doing all that. She's doing all of this Black History Month. She's not even a foundational Black American. Wow. This is crazy, y'all. I never thought I'd be doing a video like this. I feel really bad because once again, I apologize to my audience. In the audience that comes over from Honor, that's the Cookie Crush check, that's a part of my audience as well. I apologize to y'all that I put videos out where I was sort of like propping this woman up and being down with what she was saying. And, I apologize for it. I mean, so from now on, I'm sorry. Anybody got anything to say around this channel, you got to show receipts, okay?
Tell the truth.
Anybody that says, hey, I know that Umar does this. I know that if you don't have receipts, I don't want to hear it. Receipts. It's time for receipts now. It's going to be a new day on YouTube. It's going to be a new day on this channel. No receipts. If you coming out with allegations against anybody and you don't have receipts, particularly as it relates to the Umar Johnson saga, and you don't have receipts to prove it and to back it up and it's verified, I'm not making videos about it. I'm not vouching for that person. None of that's going on around here no more. Cookie Crush chat. What's up to y'all? Let me see. Information man for the right moderator in here. Q Butter solid. No, I know Q Butter. Q Butter real solid. You damn right. He. What's going on, Jonathan Kidd? You damn right. Q Butter is solid. Q Butter, just let you know, my man Yalpo, who might be in the chat room, he makes animated. We bringing back Sunday morning cartoons, and he wants to feature your school. He wants to make a cartoon series for your school. But this is the catch. When he presents this beautiful Saturday morning cartoon presentation that will be exclusively on my channel in the beginning, we need you on this channel and we need George Makem on this channel together so that you can see what this brother creates. Wait until y'all see the stuff that Yalpo been working on. It's going to blow you away. The stuff that he working on is ready for prime time. I mean, complete Saturday morning cartoons, black people style. Wait until we present that to you very soon. Whew. Oh no, not the hustle, George. Stop it. Don't come over here with that. George Makem George Makem has a program, Urban Nerds Worldwide. He doing a lot of things for kids. He's also tight with Q Butter. They're doing real things and they show you what they're doing on camera. Don't come over here talking about George Makem. He doing more in the community than you do in your whole life. He show you what he doing. He have it on camera. Don't even go there. Not going to tolerate it. Yalpo says everybody plays the fool sometimes. There's no exception to the rule. Listen, Infoman, it may be fractured, but maybe I can't make that out. Everybody plays the fool. I don't want to play no fool though, brother, to be quite honest with you. She had to come up with the lie. Good point. What's going on, Sister Empress, who's in the house? She says, facts information, man. Thank you very much. Clap to you. My dear sister here, she says, Rika, I highly doubt a nurse. I can tell in her verbiage. Wow. All right, let's put this up here. We have Allison Wonder, I think is her name. You say here, that's the biggest problem for me, accepting responsibility, take accountability and make it right. It's no time for victimization. Right. We can't act like victims. And that's what's going on here. What's going on, brother? Thank you for coming over. Money Boy is in the house. Money Boy says she's a CNA. Look, at this point in time, I wish everybody to have good employment. I'm not going to really come down on what her employment is. I'm more focused on the fact that she told these lies as it relates to the check, as I have now had a chance to sit back, observe what's been going on. And I came to a meeting of the mind. I came to a crossroads with this situation and said, I gotta speak upon this to my audience and to the people who respect what I do over here on my channel and see me as somebody on YouTube who don't usually get myself all up in some mud and some beef and some bull crap. That's why I apologize to KKC for the situation that happened a week ago, which I should have stopped it in the middle when it was happening. I should have squashed it. I should have stopped it. because my channel has never been built for that beef type stuff. It's not what I do over here. It's not my MO. So I apologize about that again. Let me put this back up. This sister right here, Stone Parker, says, I bet no apologies are going to happen from y'all all. Are you saying that we're lying? What are you saying, Stone Parker? Let me see what's going on here. So you just going to say she's lying? What I'm going to say is that she has not shown us any proof. And Honors has already told us that she is lying because of this reason here. Let me put this up. And Honor, this is what Honors put out there on his post today. It has been confirmed. Mary Ann Lorient lied about the $68,000 settlement check. There will be no more grace, no more benefit of the doubt. She is a liar. I should have been more diligent, more critical, and vetted everything. I let my guards down because she was a woman that Umar exploited. I trust her and got played. Never again. You must have missed the video that I played with my man Ron Armstrong, where he called the company that he called the very place that was on this fake check that she presented to Honor. And by her presenting it to Honor, it got presented to us as if it was legitimate when it was fake. It says, disclaimer, this is not a real check. To receive your real cash, you meant to call this number. She presented a fake check, and my brother right here called the people about it. I'm going to play this again before I get out of here, because some people coming in late who are now going to defend these lies probably didn't see this video.
Not a real check. Are you familiar with that?
Yeah, that comes from our marketing team. It's a form of advertisement that we do. So if they got that check and if they're interested in selling, we can definitely explore this conversation. But if not, they're more than welcome to throw it away.
Oh, it's not a real check then?
No.
Oh, it's just a marketing thing. Okay, I understand. Yeah. There's no problem with that. I understand you guys are marketing your services. That makes total sense. Okay, I just wanted to clear that up. You know what? So I want to thank you. And you said...
My man Ron Armstrong called the legacy home buyers. That's the number on this check. When you call the number, it brings you to legacy home buyers. Marianne act like she never heard of it, but she kept talking about loan sharks, which we never heard her say that before. Why didn't she tell us that the check came from a loan shark back in December and September when she presented it as a legitimate check to Honor? Huh? Don't play with me. For LH, too many wolves in the sheep's clothing. Facts. Facts. Island girl. Let me read what Island girl is saying. Island. She says, I appreciate this live. At the end of the day, the school isn't open. And that was the main point concerning Umar. She screwed the ops by right. Right, my sister. I get what you're saying. And I want to again say I apologize for Honors is kicking himself because he's saying he should do more research. But even when we get presented stuff from other channels, we as content creators have also the responsibility to double check the things that we are getting from even other channels. We all can be fooled. We can all have the wool pulled over our eyes if we don't do our due diligence too. So this situation might be a good thing because it will force us to now be a little bit more diligent when we come across people who claim they've got information about somebody that we've been talking about or dealing with. Soul Power's in the house. She says loan sharks. Yeah. Doesn't loan sharks usually deal in cash, not checks? I don't know, folks. Maybe I'm wrong. What's going on, Jay the Informant? We've got my man here. Greatness. Great show, brother. I like and sub. Hey, thank you very much for liking and subbing to the channel. I'm going to give you a clap.
Information
is power.
And for other people that are probably watching, definitely go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Remember, this is the difference with my channel. I don't just, my channel is not Umar, where I just do Umar videos and that's all I do. I touch on all issues that impact Black people. Y'all really should check out the video that I put out about the young 13-year-old Black youth in Gainesville, Virginia, who went to the school board and said he's tired of being bullied. He's tired of the racism. He says when he retaliates against the kids that are being racist to him, they immediately punish him and kick him out of school. But when they do things to him, nobody cares. Y'all got to check that video out. That's a video that I felt should have went completely viral because why? It's our kids, man. It's our youth that are being F with in this world still. And we need to have another thing too. I'm going to be dropping a video about a young man in, Marietta, Georgia, who was found, you know what, as strange fruit. And it ain't getting no media play. I got to do a story on that and drop that video on this channel for y'all. Let me get back to, but thank you, my brother. Thank you for being a part of the family over here.
You are listening to Information Man. Please make sure to subscribe to his channel.
Thank you, feminine, hey, melanin, I like what you had to say. Yes, I appreciate that you are bringing us so much information about various topics we should talk about. Yeah, like Umar, we could talk about Umar, but I can't. I've been saying this and saying this. There's a lot of stuff going on that impacts Black people that we need to be focusing on as well. When it comes to Umar right now, I don't think I'm gonna be doing any videos on Umar when it comes to like people saying that they know something about him, unless I've got hardcore receipts. I think when it comes to the Umar content, I'm gonna take a delicate approach and making sure that the information that we're getting provided is vetted. Other than that, we got to be careful as content creators. We got to be very diligent in the way we carry on. And that's not just Honor, that's me, that's everybody in this community. Simple as that. I've never witnessed Hot Gaming being speechless. One Hot Gaming being speechless. How you doing, sister? Good idea. Let me see. Let me go up here to how you doing? I think it would be a great conclusion video to showcase all the lies ML perpetrated, Marianne perpetrated, from the restraining order to the check to the food. Good point. Very good point. Let me see. Let me see, brother. Let me see. Today is a loan shark are legal. Today's okay. This is a good point. Thank you for clarifying this, Daddy Dragon. I think that's your name. Ajax Dragon. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but you made a good point here, brother. You said today's loan sharks are legal and will actually give you a legitimate loan at about 45% interest rate and cut you a check. Okay. So what you're saying is that loan sharks today, they're not dealing in cash. They're dealing in checks. Okay. You know, when I think, I'm just gonna be honest, when I think of loan sharks, you know, my mind goes back to the old school where they like, hey, we break your legs if you don't pay us. we gave you 10,000 in cash, you know? Well, okay. Right. And then you know what? When I think about it, you're right, because even banks can be predatory towards you, right? But still, this is the point, brother. Even if she got a predatory check, why didn't her lawyers do their due diligence in making sure it's real? Why didn't Marianne do her due diligence to make sure that it was real? Why didn't she take it to the bank and ask them, was it real, when she'd been screaming and yelling about how Umar is a liar? You can't trust him. He's treacherous. So if you're dealing with a man that's treacherous and you get a check through his lawyers, why wouldn't you not want to make sure that that check is legitimate? Why wouldn't you not want to make sure that check is legitimate? Do y'all get my point where I'm coming from? She sold us really good. She was so passionate. What's going on, Jam? Thank you. You're right about that. it was a passionate situation. Let me see. Mrs. White says, so did Umar even pass out as she reported? See, that's another thing. Thank you for bringing that up. I don't know, because we never got any video about that. And remember when Marianne reported that Umar had passed out, remember she said she was going to try to get footage for us to see it, and we never got footage. But then she came back on her channel and said, in the Black conscious community, they don't believe in calling the ambulance, or they don't believe in getting the authorities involved. That's some bullshit. A man is falling out. Why the hell would you not call the ambulance for a man who's collapsing? He could possibly be dying. So that would be dumb. And that would also be, negligence on their part to let Umar fall on the ground, if he did, and not call the ambulance when the man could possibly have died. And then if Umar would have passed away, then the police would have said, they would have been like, the body been laying here for so long. Why didn't anybody call the ambulance? So when you really look at her story about the conscious community, they don't believe in this and they don't believe it. The hell with the damn conscious community. They're not conscious. So we don't even know if that story is true, because we never got receipts on that story. As far as I'm concerned, you got to question everything because of this check situation. And it's just that's just a fact. Thank you for that super chat. Let me put you on the board, Jam. Thank you for the super chat, brother. I appreciate that. He says, if she sees this, tell Umar to call on her channel. Now, you know what? That's a good point. If she was very upset that Honor would not let her call Umar, would not allow her to share her audio from her phone into his stream, which you can't do that. Not when there's legal issues when you got a man who doesn't like him, right? But check this out. That's a good point, brother. Why didn't Mary Ann go back to her channel, call Umar up on her channel, and have Umar talk to her on her channel through the phone? And then we could hear on her channel, on her platform, Umar say to her, I did pay you that money. I did owe you that money. Why didn't she just do that? She got so upset. She got so upset about Honor not letting her come on his channel to say that. But why didn't let's hear this again.
When I reach out to him, I rewatched the video twice. Yes, my voice is elevated. I'm an emotional individual, but I didn't say anything stuff. I didn't say anything. Umar on the line.
Okay, here we go.
I didn't say anything disrespectful. Did anything which he felt he pointed out was disrespectful when I called Umar on the line, and then he muted. My thing is, like, not all monies are good money. I would have forfeit having that video monetized. I wouldn't have muted when Umar picked up, but he muted. He didn't allow.
How do we know that Umar picked up the phone and talked to her? She said that he muted when Umar picked up. How would we know that? When he took her off the screen, we don't know that she was talking to Umar. All we have to go on is what Marianne is saying, that she was talking to Umar, but we don't know that. And if it was that serious, Marianne, that you wanted to prove to everybody that Umar paid you that money, why didn't you go back to your channel and call Umar up on your channel and go live where we could hear Umar talking to you on your channel, on your live? Am I making sense, everybody? Hit the sevens in the damn chat room. All she had to do was go back to her channel, everybody, and call Umar up and have it all on her channel. And she could have shut all this down by calling Umar on her channel and saying, Umar, did you pay me $68,000 check? And then we would have heard Umar say yay or nay. Why didn't she go to her channel? She's so busy keep telling us about how Honor wouldn't let her bring Umar into her channel through the audio. And even if he didn't do that, she didn't like that. Why didn't she go back to her channel that night or even the next day and call Umar and bring Umar on? Why hadn't she brought Umar on through her channel today to shut us all up? I want y'all to, Jonathan Kidd, Alicia, good to see you, sister. Everybody in the chat room, I want you to marinate on what I just said. If she had a pipeline to talking to Umar, which I don't understand why she would want to talk to Umar when she said Umar put her through so much hell and he was bothering her. But anyway, as it may be, she claimed that she talked to Umar on the phone, but Honors wouldn't let it be on his channel through the audio. Why would she not go back to her channel, contact Umar, and let it be played on her channel?
Information is power.
You see? Lies. If she really wanted to prove it so much, she could have easily, just as easy as she made this live right here, talking about how she didn't get a chance to let us hear Umar. You could have easily brought Umar into your channel, into your audio on your channel. And you could have put that video out for us to see, hear, the whole 9 yards. And maybe that would have made some clarity. Who knows? I don't know. Y'all hear what I'm saying? Do you hear the point that I'm making right there? We're going to get ready to get out of here in just a little bit. But I just wanted to bring that up. I'm reading y'all statements from the chat room. Stuff like that. She's done messed it all up. I agree. Juan Howard, let me see. I hope someone finds out why Lenore went after, I don't know about Marianne. Far as I know, from what I heard from Mrs. Stacks, is that Marianne was not supposed to jump out the window and tell everybody that there was a federal investigation against Umar, because when you're doing a federal investigation, you don't want your right hand to know what your left hand knows, meaning you don't want Umar to know that he's under federal investigation. From what she was saying is that Marianne wasn't supposed to put that information out. In other words, there's a term we use called "you're doing too much." You're doing too much. Gossip, all that babbling. Yeah. What's going on? We got let me see. Curio is in the house. He says she's only did that because she noticed when she mentioned his name, she gets some views. That all this is about. It's about views, as you're saying, brother. Okay. I don't know, man. I just think it's ratchet that we're at this point. Thank you for the super chats. Let me see. My man Kendall says, from Kendall, her telling Honor don't show the front of the check for a long time implies that she knew the check was fake. Yeah, I talked about that. Yes, I talked about that. Thank you for bringing that up. I did bring that up. I did talk about that. What's going on, Josephine? Let me bring you up here.
Thank you for the super
All
chat.
of you, thank you for the super chats. I appreciate it. Josephine says, I called this months ago. So Josephine, you were on top of it months ago. Now, what the brother just said made a lot of sense. Remember, I put the original checks up here. Let me see. So remember, we were talking about these checks right here. So he's right. This is what happened. Remember when she presented this to Honor, she told Honor not to show this check for a long time. She said, let it linger just a little bit. But when she showed the back of the check, when the back of the check was shown, she had no problem with the back of the check being up for a long time. She did not want the front of the check to linger because she didn't want you to see this part right here about the disclaimer, which I digitally through AI enhanced it with this right here. Boom. She didn't want you to see or focus on disclaimer, this is not a real check. See, it was all in small print. So she knew that maybe a lot of people wouldn't be able to notice that small print, right? Until somebody had the good sense to really look at this a little bit more further and realize this shit ain't a real check. It's a marketing check. And I've already played y'all the video. I'm not going to play it again. I've already played y'all a video a bunch of time of my man, Ron Armstrong, saying that where he calls this company, he calls this actual company, the Legal Home Buyers, and he finds out that they do send these fake promotional checks like this to get your attention because they want to market something towards you. Okay? It's a damn shame.
Tell the truth.
It's all a damn shame. Everybody, I think that's all I got. I think I'm gonna pull out of here. I want to thank you for watching me today, giving me great support. If you have not subscribed to the channel, then what are you waiting for? Go ahead and subscribe. Be a part of what we got going on over here because I really appreciate that. Hit the bell notification. Share the video on your social media. Share it with people that would be interested in this type of content. Miss Independent, thank you once again for rocking with me and giving me a super chat. I really appreciate that. Really appreciate that.
Thank you for the super chat.
Let me put you up on the board. And you know, before I get out of here, maybe I'll play the super chat music for everybody that super chatted me. She says, I knew something was wrong for sure. Many clues. Right. You're right about that. Many, many clues. Let me go ahead and play a little bit of my super chat music for you all. And here we go.
Thank you for the super chat.
Time to run it all. I wake up. Yeah. I wake up. Flex. Thumb down now. Check. No drip. This. Wet. Time to run it all. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck. But first I stretch. Time to run it all. I wake up. Flex. Thumb down now. Check. No drip. This. Wet. Time to run it all. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck. But first I stretch. Time to run it all. 9 out of 10 roll through my
All right, I want to thank everybody that's here, that's been rocking with the channel. Thank you again. Make sure you subscribe, share the video. Thank you to all new subscribers that are here, people that are my regular day ones that are here. Once again, I apologize that things have turned out this way. I didn't want to make a video ever like this, but it is what it is. Again, I want to apologize to KKC about the BS that went down last week with him being, what happened in the chat room and my guests that I had on the platform. That's not how I get down on this channel. I don't normally allow beef situations to happen. I don't bring beefs to people's channel. I don't want people to bring beefs to my channel, especially things that I had nothing to do with. And plus, KKC has been a long time subscriber and mod on this channel. And I gave him back his mod today, and I apologize to him. And whatever the issue is that people have with each other, you have to deal with that somehow, but you shouldn't bring it to other people's channel, especially if that person had nothing to do with it and they get caught in the crossfires of it. But, I know things happen. YouTube can be a tough place to be at times, but I just want to give that brother some respect. Also, I want to give, there's somebody, hey, what's going on, Cap? I see you in there. There's somebody else I want to give some. Jason, we got Jonathan Kidd, and we have somebody else that rocks with me. We got A. Kelly J. What's going on? A. Kelly J says, all right, sister, you have a great night. Always great to see you all. It's always great to see you all. Clap to you. Let's get out of here. And like I said before, I don't just do Umar Johnson content. My channel is really built on all content that involves black people and the things that we deal with, good or bad, in this world that we deal with and we have to overcome, right? I also used to do a lot of interviews when I would bring a lot of positive people up and I would interview that were doing things out there in the world. I might getting back to interviewing people that are really doing some stuff out there. I don't know, but I do know this. if I do a Umar Johnson video, it's going to be based on the stuff that we know that's proven. And anything that is not proven, or anybody that jumps out the window and says, I know Umar did this, I know he was in a room with another man, if I don't have receipts about that, I'm not making a video about it. Or am I going to take on some type of what do you call it? Like, take on the cause for that person. And I'm gonna tell you straight up, even if Umar Johnson is bisexual, allegedly, if Umar Johnson was in there with another man doing whatever else, allegedly, if he is gay, at this point, it really doesn't matter, because there is no school. Black boys have not been taught, not one black boy has been educated, has been mentored, has nothing. The last time we saw Umar with kids, he was getting ready to call the police on them. No black boys have been educated. No black women have benefited from Umar Johnson and all his yelping and yelling and screaming outside those broken up those buildings that ain't fit. I'm talking about the buildings. I don't care who he wants to lay with, how he gets down, whatever it is. It ain't got a damn thing to do with the fact that he's taken money from black people all these years. Remember, Umar Johnson did not start collecting money from black people in 2010. He started originally in 2005. 2005, he collected money, and he was in collecting money from 2005 all the way up to where we are now. 7 years in with those buildings, no school, no progress. How is he going to pay for teachers? How is he going to pay for nursing? How is he going to pay for security? How is he going to pay for cafeteria food? How is he going to pay for transportation to get kids back and forth to school? How is he going to pay for school books? He hasn't even paid for desks. The one brother that wanted to give him desks, the brother showed the receipts that Umar blocked him. That's what I'm talking about. That brother showed receipts. Umar blocked him when the brother said, hey, just give me a little bit of money for my diesel truck. How is Umar going to run a school on donation when the operational cost is more expensive than the money that he's already gotten, that he's never been transparent with us about? That's what's important, not who he laying up in the bed with. That's what he want to do. That's his business. But our business is that he took money from black folks and he hasn't produced nothing. And this is what makes this whole situation with Mary Ann disappointing, because we really were trying to champion Mary Ann. We really wanted to believe in Mary Ann because we thought she came with something that was legitimate in how Umar treated her. And maybe Umar did do some things to her that was wrong, but it still doesn't change the fact that she showed us this fake ass check. With that said, everybody, I'm going to get ready to get out of here. I'll be back with more presentation. I'll be dropping some uploaded videos. Be on the lookout for other content. Be on the lookout for the content that I'm going to be, that Brother Yalpo, who's in the chat room, working on Saturday morning cartoons. It's going to be incredible, the stuff that he's working on. Wait till y'all see the stuff when we present this. It's going to blow you away. He's been hard at work. He's the talent. He's the one with the gift of creating this stuff. I'm just facilitating the content with the brother. With that said, everybody, y'all take care. Much respect to you. Peace. Peace. It's the Information Man Show.
Information is power.
We got to do a better job of checking these damn receipts. Y'all take care. Peace.
I say I need you, greedy if I have to share you. It was me that all along did you wrong.
Tell the truth.
I made you beautiful and strong. This toxicity, the death of me, I fear the day you've gone. The most beautiful girl I've ever known.
BS3 Network is now on Roku TV under BS3 TV. Download today. BS3 Network, changing the way you listen to podcasts. BS3 Network. changing the way you watch TV.
Find a way to treat you better. No problem, I'll do whatever. Let her know, I gotta let her know that she my white horse, she my medical. She like my baby mama, know how to take care of me. Give my baby problems, you gon' regret everything. So I let her know, gotta let her know. Came through the front door, I'll be ready for her. And if it's what you want, I'ma give it to you. Yeah, promise, I'ma give it to you. La 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 la. Da 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 da. La 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 la
You are listening to Information Man. Please make sure to subscribe to his channel. Information is power.
Let her know, I gotta let her know that she my white horse, she my medical. She like my baby mama, know how to take care of me. Give my baby problems, you gon' regret everything. So I let her know, gotta let her know. Came through the front door, I'll be ready for her. And if it's what you want, I'ma give it to you. Yeah, promise, I'ma give it to you. Miss that smile, Lord knows I ain't seen that in a while, but it's your style. So something must be up keeping you down. You a queen that must be heaven sent. Pray my soul, I must repent for not telling you what I meant and how I felt. Honestly, I'm used to throwing wishes in a well. My conscience tells me that I could have helped without fail. Actions speak louder than words, and that's a lesson that I learned all by myself. Let her know, I gotta let her know that she my white horse, she my medical. She like my baby mama, know how to take care of me. Give my baby problems, you gon' regret everything. So I let her know, gotta let her know. Came through the front door, I'll be ready for her. And if it's what you want, I'ma give it to you. Yeah, promise, I'ma give it to you. La, 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 la.
You are listening to Information Man. Please make sure to subscribe to his channel.
Tell the truth.